Hello and welcome all to the Journey Planner. My name's Thomas Blake and I'll be your host for this evening. We're here with lovely Ania from Poland, who will be
Hello.
sharing the journey of her experience in country living from city, I suppose, or village to country. And she'll also be, I don't know if they're present, but I'm sure they're there somewhere in the background, her husband and her son of 8 years old. So basically, just wanted to introduce Anya a little bit there, just before she goes into her story. I understand just by just briefly talking to her, she's Polish, so dobry den, as they say in Poland. Nice to meet you there. She's moved to the UK from Poland, and that was in 2018, 2018, you said, right? Yeah. And that was back in December. So she had full experience of what COVID was like during that time. Her parents also came from the background of country living, and she wasn't quite there yet, but she had an experience in going back to the villages. And I suppose that's maybe where she got the country bug, if that's a nice expression to use. And from that, she then wanted to move on into getting her own experience in the country with her son and her husband. So, once again, welcome Anya, and welcome those who are joining us from around the world and also from the country. So, yeah, Anya, tell us a little bit about your Christian experience, your journey with God, and then we'll take it from there.
Hello everyone. Thank you very much that I've got the privilege to share my experience here. Um, I'm pretty fresh Christian actually because I come from Catholic background, but I was very rebellion. So at age 15 or 16, I left the Catholic Church because I was a rebel and I didn't want to have any religion, anything connected to any in that time I was thinking brainwashing things. So most of my life I had to admit I was an atheist. So with a country living and my faith and my family faith, we did pretty much everything upside down. So first we moved to the countryside. We took our son from school. We home educated him. Um, yeah, when I was just before pregnancy, I started to be vegetarian. During when he was born, I became vegan. So my diet has changed as well, and my family as well. And actually, we convert ourselves not very long time ago. It's about 2 years for my husband and a year and a half for me. Yeah, so that's our background. But yeah, it's pretty interesting story, but it's like a long story about our conversion. So it might be another testimony
So
one
just
day.
just to touch a little bit on that. So you was raised as a Catholic. So I take it your parents were Catholic. They raised you as a Catholic.
Yeah,
Was your
yeah.
husband Catholic?
No, actually, he was fourth generation of Adventist in Poland.
Okay.
So his family was one of the first Adventists um,
Poland.
uh, in Poland, yeah, in that part of the world. But when we've met, I only knew that he comes from that house, and I met his parents. They were keeping Sabbath. They were making everything in the right way, but I didn't really notice that he was representing any Adventist values principles. So when we've met, actually, we've been in a very similar stage. So I was describing myself as an atheist. I didn't believe on anything, and Andy, my husband, kept saying he believes in God, but he never gave me any proof of that. So we were living like a normal life without any Sabbath, without any Bible studies, without any reading, nothing.
Yeah.
So we were just like normal, non-religious couple,
Yeah.
really.
Okay. So what changed? Where did the spark come? What was the lightning moment or the pool experience, if you can say that?
So we after we moved from the city, and I think it was the third year of our country living already. So we used to live in a farm in a static caravan, and we had really like connection with nature. We were helping farmers to do their job,
Hmm.
and our like a life. values were changing and changing.
Yeah.
There was, I'm pretty sure it was a big impact on my husband because his school friend has died for brain cancer.
Wow.
And Andy started to think of his life, what he's doing. He doesn't care about his health.
Yeah.
I was more health focused, and because I'm a herbalist from my occupation, and I was trying to keep my family healthy, which successfully I am still keeping them in a good condition. But he didn't want really any change, so he liked to eat some foods which we didn't prefer with me and my son, for example, or he was drinking some sweet drinks, sometimes beer. So he was kind of normal, let's say, statistic person.
Yeah.
And after the friend died, and he was actually very close to him just before he died. I think it was kind of like a shock for him, and he started to read the Bible again, and he started to listen some lectures
Yeah.
in English and in Polish as well. And he started to rethink everything, and his conversion was kind of like a reconversion, but he described all the process like he didn't understand everything when he took the all the principles of Adventist church from home.
Okay.
So he had to kind of understand it correctly and place it in his life, apply every principle, and then he kind of had like a, how to call, like awakening, let's
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. He had his revival experience. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was in actually, I have to admit, I'm not very proud of it, but I was very fascinated about um, new age things. I
Yeah.
was thinking I'm so clever. It's like me and everything. I was reading many books about, personal development, and I was meditating. I was doing maybe not very advanced stuff, but some start
Yeah.
I had. And actually my son was very big trigger for me
Okay.
because he kind of chose very naturally Andy's, my husband's way of beliefs.
Hmm.
And he didn't even have to convince him or having any like a conversation with him, like very advanced. Oh, come on, I will show you or whatever. He was naturally coming to, oh, what you are doing, what you are reading, what you are seeing,
Yeah.
and it was kind of like natural. So in our family, kind of divided for Adventist part and me, which
Right.
I was okay. It's his choice. I didn't have any problems with that. But once it was particularly one evening we were praying. So my boys were praying to God, and I said a prayer like, "I'm so grateful to you, like let's say universe." And my son was like, "Oh, mom, why you don't understand that universe is something God created? You have to pray to God, not to the universe." And I was like so hit with that because my um 6 years old but by the time said something which I couldn't really catch before.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I will have a go. So I started actually to read the Bible to prove my husband is wrong.
Yeah.
But when I started to read the Bible, I realized that that's the truth.
Yeah.
So slowly but surely, I started to educate myself. I started to listen um, many lecturers. I found also some Barbara O'Neill's health message, and I was so amazed about her knowledge and other people as well. So not long after, I really, I think it was also prayers which my Andy made because he was praying for me, and many people, I didn't know about that, but many people were praying about me, and it was, yeah, literally Holy Spirit work.
So let me ask you this part then. So that transition between maybe an atheistic home to more of a Christian home, then more of an Adventist home. You mentioned about country living. Was you actually doing country living at that point in time? And if you was it just more of a secular type of a country living, nothing to do with what we know as Adventists today? Was it just living in the country, eating healthy food and naturopathy? Is that pretty accurate?
Um, so I was trying to grow as much food I could because we were renting, so I couldn't really do a big garden. So I did what I could. I had just a couple of little raised beds and some hundreds of pots,
Yeah,
big ones, small ones, but it wasn't like really enough
yeah.
for feeding people like three people in a family in
And
a
this,
completely organic way. But we always wanted to do it, and we had a desire to be away from the city. First of all, we had a dream to be very close to nature
yeah,
and have a clean water, not like chlorinate city water,
yeah,
and very very big desire for independence, like energetic, whatever,
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
So, so actually, it was one of the steps we were making at the time because the farm which we used to be, we knew we cannot stay there forever, and we actually supposed to be there only 3 months, and we end up living there 4 years. But it was very nice cooperation with people there, so it was
Remind
really
us,
working well.
remind us where this was. Where was you living at this point?
So it was a little village in the Black Mountains in the borders with England and Wales.
Black Mountains, very interesting. I'm from there, so that's basically Upper Bannerman. That would be.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
okay, so we used to live in Longtown.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so it was like 8 miles from Abergavenny.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So you was in the UK in Wales, and you was renting off a farm, meant to be temporary, ended up being 4 years.
Yeah, but
Okay.
then during that time, as I mentioned, we made a sustainable living course, which took part
Yes.
on West Wales,
Yes.
particularly in the North Pembrokeshire.
Yes.
So there is a Llamas eco village. There is a couple of eco villages around, but this particular one was one which provide that course.
Yes.
So we had an opportunity to see like really, really country living
Yeah.
in many examples. So during that course, they showed us couple, at least I think 5 different homesteads,
Yeah.
and we could see how the people are dealing with Welsh weather, with environment, with landscape. It is in Wales, everything, every aspect, and we've seen many natural buildings. We've learned how to grow food, how to build a lot of things. So we started to look for opportunity to work. So being in being living being able to living on someone's land
Yeah.
in exchange of work. So
Yeah.
at the moment, over a year now, we live in a homestead where actually the course took place.
Mhm.
Uh, so this is a 7-acre homestead, and we built in our Black Mountain location our tiny house on wheels on a flatbed trailer.
Okay.
Mainly my husband and me. We made a wooden structure and we just made a home on the top
Well,
of the trailer, and we moved that to that eco village. And now we don't pay rent, but we live country living like full time
yeah.
with a big garden which we can use. We with huge orchard we can use as well. There is a polytunnel. We've got a sauna on the sides. We can use the sauna twice a week. We've got a washing machine because all the homestead is set up, and in exchange we work on Wednesdays and Thursdays for 5 hours a day. So
And this
it's
is where you are now.
yeah.
Yeah.
So instead of paying money, we exchange our physical work to
Got you.
pay back our washings, our showers, our toilets, our garden,
Okay.
everything.
So basically, it's you give your labor for the rent, basically for staying
Exactly,
on the land.
exactly.
Okay. This is
And
very
I feel this opened a big chance. Particularly this household owner, which
Yeah.
we are living in his land now.
Yeah.
Over last 16 years, he helped over 200 people like us.
Okay.
So I think he does a huge job, and we as Adventists should kind of copy that
Yeah.
model,
Yeah.
because it's amazing, because some people who are really broken after losing businesses, after losing family,
Wow.
after divorce, after different situations, and
Mm.
that kind of, no pay, but you can use the rest of the days of the
Mm.
week for normal work, but you don't have that pressure of bills and everything. He helped stand up on their legs, really, a lot of people.
Mm.
Yeah,
Sanya, you mentioned about the building that you're building, so we'll come to that. Let me ask you a little bit about just about that Christian journey then. So your husband's friend passed away sadly, and that was like a catalyst for him to kind of get more serious with God.
yeah,
And then obviously your son's now talking to your husband about God, Adventism, etc.
yeah,
This gradually rubbed off on you, and then you now make that transition into the family circle of the faith. Is that right?
yeah, 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 yeah. I can describe myself as a very um, deep Adventist at the moment.
Okay, praise the
So
Lord.
I'm
Okay.
maybe not long in the faith, because
Yeah.
it's a year and a half, let's say, maybe even
Okay.
less. Um, but but yeah, my testimony about what God did in my life, particularly,
Mm.
is just enormous. It's just huge.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's a big thing. So
So
yeah, I
you've always
cannot really imagine now life without God.
Amen. Amen. Okay. So once that took place in that transition, then did your understanding of country living change? Because I know it sounds like you grew up in the country, you're familiar with growing things, you've got a background in food
Hmm.
culture and growing food, but that was probably from maybe an atheistic or a worldly point of view. Did you like your mindset change in terms of the Adventist method of country living then, and why we're doing it and the method behind it? Is that fair?
I think it did, because when we already knew we're gonna move to that eco village,
Yeah, eco
I was
village.
very
Okay.
freshly converted,
Okay.
just couple months of conversion, and we were at the stage that we are moving there temporary,
Yeah.
with a dream to have our, like, to get experience, of course, but
Yeah.
in the future we would like to have our own land and
Mm.
do our own homestead. um, so we kind of um, change a little bit our directions, because
Okay.
we always wanted to be on our own land, but
Oh, no.
actually
Yeah.
it changed our perspective, because now we desire to have a land, but not only for ourselves.
Yeah.
We would like to show people what we know. We would like to share our produce with people,
Mm.
and if necessary, if someone will be in need, we would like to invite someone to live on our land in similar principles. So um, if someone will be in a situation in life,
Yeah.
um,
They need that help.
difficult, yeah, I hope maybe we can be able to help.
You know.
But also, as I am herbalist and my husband is a physiotherapist, we always wanted to help people generally in
Yeah.
terms of health
Yeah.
message and missionary.
Yeah.
So our another dream is to create a space in our future land, to have people in some retreats, like
Yeah.
detox, any problems.
Yeah.
We well, yeah, we've got some experience, and we've got very skilled people around us here in Wales as well, who can help with the health. So I'm just dreaming to have and praying to God to be allowed to create that kind of, maybe not very big like Misty Mountains, but some place for one or two people at the
Yeah.
time, just to recover. Yeah.
So where you are now, you're on the eco village. You're not paying any physical money, but in labor, you're paying money, and
Yeah.
you're able to build, or you was able to build your accommodation, and that's on
Yes.
technically rent free. I take it just by you
Yeah.
laboring. Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. How
So
did you?
the only thing we actually buy is the fuel for our vehicles and the gas for cooking.
Okay.
Uh, and we've got everything there. So electricity we can use. Well, we don't have electricity, kind of. So to go to our way is a little bit maybe shocking for some people because you
Mm.
cannot really do that step straightforward. I mean, you can, but it might be difficult. So we got just a little bit of electricity from our like one solar panel system,
Okay.
which provides our light, our charging for any small devices. We can use a blender as well, but not much big
Yeah.
things can be connected. But if we need, we've got a washing machine in our host's place, so we can normally wash our clothes. We don't have to do it with hands. Um, but this is kind of like a minimalistic version of living at the moment.
Mm.
So what's our plan is we would like to move our house to our future land
Yeah.
and then maybe provide a little bit bigger solar system. So we would
Yeah.
have also that privilege to use the washing machine, which
How
is
did you?
luxury.
How did you find this eco village? I've heard of many of them. There's one mentioned TP Valley, and there's some other ones. There's another place in Machynlleth where they tell you how to
Yeah.
do alternative energy, which is helping people more sustainable in Wales. But how did you find this particular place that you're at now, that you're currently staying on? Is it easy to
Yeah.
find?
So again, this sustainable living course was in my mind for some time, and I was searching for something like that. So I just found them on internet, really.
Oh wow!
And I just signed up for the course, and they were very, very well. They are very, very open and very nice people, very skilled and very knowledgeable.
Yeah,
They are not Christian, sadly, but I feel they do their best.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and like I said, they try to help people to get to the land, which is one of their mission, which is
Okay,
amazing mission because they also support people with planning system,
got you.
with documents and everything. So for me, as as someone who moved from abroad,
Yeah,
it's very big support because the like technical law language is a bit
of
difficult,
course. Yeah,
even
absolutely.
for native people sometimes. So yeah, so they provide like a lot of things. So I think that was why we kind of stick to them because they were open for giving us hand and to yeah, just to they were really open and they were helping us even with normal conversation, not necessarily doing additional like meetings or courses.
Yeah.
And after we met a little bit more, they invite us to stay in their village.
Okay.
um, so that's how it happened. Yeah.
We'll look at some photos of what you've built. So, in regards to staying on the village, where did you get the funding or the finances to build the project that we're going to have a look at shortly? Where did you get the funding and the money to do that, or was the material free on the land? Did you have to save? How did you to get that?
Yeah, so that's a very good question because choosing that kind of life in our case was giving up our old life completely. Meaning, like, well, as a woman, I cut all my expenses in terms of hairdressing, in beauty salons, in the clothes, and it's like a huge, huge change. So even before conversion, we decided to live very simple.
What, yeah.
And in the beginning, we couldn't really do it fully, but with a time and with a training,
Yeah.
we started just to buy clothes in the charity shops. We
Yeah.
didn't buy anything new. Even, these days we've got Free Cycle in the UK, we've got
Yeah.
Marketplace in the UK. You
Just,
can get
just to
everything.
just to butt in there, you can get some really grand stuff in charity shops. I've
Exactly.
learned that from my experience. So yeah, okay.
And yeah, and loads of things is again my testimony, or our testimony really, because we bought a trailer. I'm gonna skip a little bit, but this is actually interesting. We bought
Mm.
the trailer, which was made by master welder, and it's more sturdy, even more than normal one.
Yeah,
And um, the gentleman who was selling it, we were just praying for it like crazy.
yeah.
But he made an auction on eBay,
Okay.
and uh, I called him,
Mm.
offering him like three times money.
Yeah.
um, then we actually paid at the end, but he said, no, no, I'm pretty sure it's going to be very good money for that. So just follow the auction and your chance is like equal from the others. And to be
Okay.
honest, we bought the trailer for less than 30% of the
Wow.
value
Wow.
because it was no interest actually. It was just a miracle.
So you was potentially going to pay more for it just to take it off eBay, but he said
Yeah,
no, let it run its
yeah.
course.
Yeah, exactly. That's our story. But generally speaking, because we took our son off school, so obviously one of us, which means me,
Okay.
couldn't work full time anymore, and I never actually did because with a growing little child, you, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and my husband was working as a full time job,
Yeah.
so we were just saving
But yeah. Okay.
and like I said, loads of costs. So when we could go somewhere in a bike, we were not using a car. When we could go
Wow.
somewhere on a foot, we were not taking anything.
You had a
We
car at this time though, just to you had a
Yeah,
car,
yeah,
the
yeah,
trailer.
we had because yeah, so yeah,
You had
so
to
we
come
had
in and out
to
of the village, isn't it?
yeah, because in Black Mountains really there is no bus coming,
Yes. Yes.
so it had to be at least one car. So we had actually two cars at the time,
Yeah.
but then we reduced it and we bought a van to tow our house to the countryside.
So
And I
so
think
just to cut you on that one, sorry. And I've done a lot of research into the building that you've got there for many, many years. I've been looking at this, and I tried
Mhm.
to convince my family to get one, but unfortunately, we didn't get one. But I know them as tiny houses. Is that how you know them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so our tiny house size, it's tiny comparing to a
Yes,
normal house, but actually
absolutely.
it's big
Yeah,
comparing to like touring caravan or even static caravan because
yeah,
we've got two floors.
absolutely.
Uh,
Okay, got yeah.
so yeah, and it's more like house rather than like a holiday
Yes, yeah,
place.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Uh, so yeah, living in a caravan, static caravan is
Not
well,
in comparison to
personally, I don't like them
yeah,
because they are not insulated and it's very challenging.
yes,
Living in a tiny house on wheels is much more easy because you've got wood burner, it's a dry wooden structure, it's no condensation everywhere.
mhm,
It's insulated with a sheep wool, so it's different kind of building. So it's like it's warm very quickly because you've got a small space to heat.
mm,
But also it's also working as a passive house. So when it's sun comes out, we've got so many windows, we can heat our house literally from the sun as well, and it's working well. So it's also intelligent usage of materials we've got. And
mm,
to be precise with the costs, we did our house. Only new thing we've got in is a wooden structure um, and plywood, let's say, on the walls.
mm.
And the rest of it, of course, we it's not finished yet, so we will have to use some plastering as well in future and buy it and that kind of stuff. But generally speaking, we used secondhand what it calls the metal sheets for the roof and for the walls. They are not fit yet on the walls, but they we already bought them. And we've got all second-hand windows. So for example, I was dreaming about wooden windows, but we bought all our eight or nine windows with a less price than one wooden new window.
So you
So
did a lot of salvaging of material basically.
no, so we've got UPCV, but
Oh,
and every window is different size, different color, so it's like no kind of regular things.
got
But
you.
actually, when you think about it, it's it's okay because
Yeah,
you've got a window, it's
yeah,
working well.
yeah.
So some of them are brand new because they were mismeasured.
Mm,
So people were just selling them for like 10, 20 pounds each,
yeah.
and they were just to take. Some of them were free because I found them on internet. So total cost so far, where we've got insulation, uh, membrane, everything, and the metal sheets which we didn't put on the walls, and a chimney and a wood burner and everything you need to start to live in, windows. I've with a trailer. It's about between 550 6,000 pounds.
Just repeat that cost again for us, please. Sorry.
Yeah, it's between 5,500, maybe 6,000 we hit.
And this is for
Um,
the materials or for the actual
for,
completion
for
of
ma- yeah, so we build it with our hands, so we didn't pay for any labor.
wow.
But it contains the trailer, the wooden structure, roof, heating system, insulation, and yeah, materials for
So,
building. Like
so let me ask this question. You didn't grow up in a caravan or a tiny house. I'm sure you came from a conventional home,
yeah.
normal income, normal electricity, windows, etc., all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And now you and your husband and your son are living in a much smaller footprint of a property. Are
Yeah.
you happy?
Yeah, to be honest, we as a modern society, we are slaves on our things. So big homes for me now means more problems, more cleaning, more wasting time, more things to look after. And to be honest, when how to say downsize our things,
Hmm.
we are more happy. I mean, I still feel we've got too many things. But to be honest, we've got only clothes we use,
Yeah.
only books, and kitchen stuff and tools left.
Hmm.
My son is very happy, so um, he is very interested in engineering stuff. So he already in age of 8, but
Yeah.
actually he was 7. He was able to how to say build his
Yeah.
own solar panel, and it's working and it's charging a phone or whatever the small devices on
So you
12
got them
volts.
involved in the project while you was on
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
Okay.
And to be honest, the living like this means we are all the time outside because we don't have much space inside. So no matter of what weather will provide,
Hmm.
we are outside, and that means we are more healthy. We spend time together more,
Yeah.
which like closes us as a family.
Yeah.
My husband, because don't pay rent at the moment, was able to reduce his working hours as well. Um, it's the value of small living, country living is just I think it's just priceless because okay, sometimes we've got in the winter time in Wales can be 6 weeks of rain,
That's true.
and uh, you still have to walk to the composting toilet. You have to still walk to your polytunnel to get your food. You have to still walk to your shower, which is exactly at the other end of the property. And by the time you get there, you are soaked. You take a shower. You're coming back. You are even more soaked. Uh, but actually, to having that slow pace, because you spend more time in daily stuff like cooking, walking everywhere.
Yeah.
But we never been ill.
Mm.
since we started to, I mean, maybe like small cold, but it's nothing comparing to city life when we had the flu or like catch the bug or whatever. We had many things going on, but I think it's more healthy, it's more clean life as well,
Yeah,
because we as a modern society maybe sometimes understand being clean in the wrong way.
yeah,
We use so many chemicals, we use so many cosmetics at homes in a normal daily basis. But actually, to live smaller and very simple makes you free from all those chemicals, and even your skin, even your health, everything is it's boosting. So I would say it's a wonderful way of life. Not easy, not everybody can handle it because it requires physical work and physical um, labor because you
yeah,
have to build everything yourself.
yeah, yeah. Listen,
I, I, yeah,
sorry to cut you there. I just want to, just by what you're just saying there, I came across a quote very in line with what you mentioned about cutting down many years ago by Ellen G. White. It's from Testimonies. Do you mind if I read it?
yeah, of
Testimony for the
course.
Church, Volume 5, page 152. It says, "It is now that our brethren should be cutting down their possessions instead of increasing them. We are about to move to a better country, even a heavenly. Then let us not be dwellers upon the earth, but be getting things into as compact and compass as possible. The time is coming when we cannot sell at any price. The decree will soon go forth prohibiting men to buy or sell of any man save he that hath a mark." And it just reminds me when you're saying you just cut down from all the things you had to a much more square foot of a home,
Mhm.
and you're content. You're happy. You're moving forward with that. It sounds fantastic. Can we get up some photos and maybe we can have a discussion on some of the things that you've got there? Do you think?
Yeah, yeah, of course. And if I can add something to downsizing your possessions,
Mm.
it's actually easier for us now to not have an interest on worldly things.
Yeah,
So we just don't care if we lose that t-shirt. Okay, that's fine. We just don't care that much as we were caring of things in the past.
yeah,
So it's I think it's also preparing us to that narrow gate,
yeah,
if you know what I mean,
yeah,
because people will look behind themselves like Lot's wife,
yeah.
what they lost, what they've got. We just don't have that anymore, and I think it was very good preparation for us to being free, really.
Amen, amen. Can you see that? Can we see that? Everyone can see that. What's up?
Yeah, so this is a roof which we freshly built, and that's my proud husband. So I
Okay,
catch the picture of the sunset with him
okay.
on
Yeah,
our fresh roof. So you actually with that kind of lifestyle, you are happy because you've got a roof.
yeah,
Another happiness was when we installed the wood burner. We had a working chimney and everything, and you don't desire like big car, big holidays, whatever, because you are happy from what you've got.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Does your husband have any building experience at all?
So when he was younger, meaning like about 20 years ago, he used to live in Sweden for a couple of years, and he was
Okay,
helping one gentleman to build the wooden houses. But
okay,
actually, he keeps saying that he had to learn everything from the beginning,
okay.
because it was 20 years ago. Now we've got different type of environment here. So Wales it requires a little bit different building um, skills than normal building we think. And even sometimes when my dad was or his dad was advising us in a build, we already knew we cannot use it in Wales because it's just wet, and we have to have different things. But you learn. It's so many like YouTube videos. People are building tiny houses and they are showing how. Um, yeah, that's me actually on construction. So even me, I was just naturally um, learning, and we were doing stuff. I mean, the heavy work and main vast of majority was my husband's work.
Yeah.
I was doing some more climbing or more specific jobs and more light, let's say. But yeah, we did everything on ourselves, two of us, and our son actually was helping a lot. He was doing many screws, whatever he could. He was happy to help us. So yeah, it's just I think it's easier than many people thinks because
Yeah.
we were like terrified. Oh, how are we gonna do it?
Yeah.
Uh, and we were terrified to fit the windows, and now it's just not that terrifying.
You mentioned that, so I take it this is we've got some more photos that show us a bit more completed.
Yeah.
But you said this was coming in around 5 or 6 thousand pounds.
Yeah, so this one is when we actually you see the van on the side. So we've got 4x4 van which towed this building, and I'm building the frame above, which is gonna be our roof.
Okay.
So we build it at this eco village. We finish it because it was not finished. So we actually spent at least 3 or 4 months just living under tarpaulin on a Welsh weather, which I think it was a little bit crazy idea, but we survived and no leaks. um, but yeah, I think just God was with us all the time, and He still is because some of the things where we think of was just impossible to do,
Yeah.
and we were just okay, let's do it, and we were doing some steps without even having in like we were not sure if we will have enough money to do it or we will have enough strength or manpower, but we did. Yeah,
So
and I think yeah,
sorry, I was
carry
just,
on.
where was you living when you was building this? Was you in a caravan you mentioned?
Yeah, but we had the privilege to use a horse barn because next to the caravan was a horse barn, and actually I really highly recommend I
Oh, can
to
you?
me.
There you go. There you are. Yeah, just lean
Oh,
back a bit.
sorry. Um, so yeah, so we had horses as our closest neighbors for almost 4 years,
Wow.
and the owners let us build. So we were working in their land in exchange of renting the barn for the build. So a couple of months we were just focusing on building in a barn because in the UK weather you cannot really build anything in dry outside. So yeah, that was very we are very grateful for that opportunity that we had a barn to start the
No,
build.
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
and now
So go on. I'm not gonna let you finish.
and now we've got the roof on, so it doesn't matter really because we can build inside and finish it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure people are going to be asking, okay, where do you start with something like this? Now, I know you can buy plans for these types of buildings, from tiny, much smaller houses than this to slightly bigger and same size. How did you get the plans? How did you architect it? Where did that kind of come into it?
No, we just draw a simple picture on a paper, and we were just watching YouTube's, and we were spotting what solution we like.
Wow.
So actually, I should to make some photos inside, but so we've got like two floors, ground floor and an attic, which is not very high. It's about probably about a meter high
Okay.
in the highest point, maybe 110 centimeters, and 90, I think, or 80 in the lower point
Okay.
because of the roof. So they're gonna be our bedroom. Now it's a storage because we still sleep downstairs where the bathroom will be in the future.
Yeah.
But we built an attic with an open space in the middle, and there is a shelf at the same level as the attic on the other side. So we will have potentially a guest bed maybe in the future or storage, whatever we will
So Do you feel a little
Yes.
bit like Noah, because we know that Noah had to prepare his household? The Ellen White says that he sold everything he had in order to find the funds to produce to help build the boats.
Yeah,
It didn't just land in his lap. He had to sell his possessions to do that. But also, he drew the plans. God gave him the guidance, and he drew the plans to build that boat. The boat is still there today if you go into YouTube and search
yeah.
artifacts in the Middle East. So, do you feel like the Lord laid the plans out for you, and you was able to just design it, or did you? I mean, it looks just like what I've seen on the internet, so it looks,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, it looks a little bit like shipping container, and it's gonna
yeah,
be look like, because we've got the metal on for the outside. We want to do it with wooden cladding, but it's too heavy to tow
okay,
in the future.
yeah,
And before another winter will come, we have to protect us from the wet weather. So the metal sheets are just quick, maybe not quick, but sturdy
yeah,
solution for whales. But inside, we decided to do what we kind of observe, and we thought maybe it's going to work for us. So many tiny house on wheels, they've got the bathroom on the other on one end,
yeah,
because it's kind of like a closed space,
yeah,
and then kitchen is like a walk away,
yeah,
walk in.
yeah,
So we've got two sides of the house. It's going to be a kitchen, and the other end will be our dining, learning, reading, with a big table, like a space, like a living space. And on the top, it's going to be an attic with a bedroom. So that's the plan. So it's very simple. And actually, I was thinking in the beginning to do this, do that, and we were changing it, and we simplified everything at the end, because the more complicated it is, the more problems in the building you've got. So
So
yeah, just
what I'm
simple.
seeing here, we've got a shingled roof, and then we've got the membrane, the breathable membrane for the
Yeah,
insulation, and then obviously you got
yeah.
your glass, and then obviously you're gonna clad that with what? You're not gonna use wood, or what you're gonna
No,
use?
yeah, we're gonna use the metal sheets,
Oh, metal sheeting.
same style, yeah, as in the roof. So yeah, just a simple. And actually, we bought them online again. They were like leftovers from some bigger project. Someone was having just a little bit of them, which was enough for us. So it was like again less than half of the price.
Wow.
So it took me 2 years actually to collect everything. Um,
So was you
yeah,
collecting
almost two
and
years,
building?
maybe year and a half.
Was you
Say
was you
again?
was you collecting and building as you went along, or did you gather everything and then you built?
Yeah, it was a little bit this and a little bit of that. So we had some things already, like some windows. But yeah, when we were building most of the things, we were trying to find like door, for example.
Yeah.
We bought a wooden door of my marketplace,
Okay.
and they are
Facebook
100
Marketplace.
years old one.
Oh wow.
Hmm?
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, yeah, and free cycle as well. Many windows were on free cycle, just free. Um, so I was just busy to driving around and collecting stuff a
And
lot.
just to remind our viewers, this what we're seeing here is on the eco village land that you're not paying any financial
Yeah,
gain
at
for.
the moment,
It's
yeah,
just what
yeah,
you're
yeah,
you're basically harvesting, cutting the grass, supporting the ecosystem of the ground, basically, and then you can build this and save that. Is that right?
yeah, yeah. So we've got many different jobs in Eco Village. We always have a choice what we can do.
Okay.
So what we are learning and doing for them is most of the time it's a gardening, in planting stuff, weeding, preparing the raised beds, doing stuff in the polytunnel, looking after the ponds, looking after animals they've
Okay.
got.
Okay.
um,
So
yeah, and building, we already built two buildings there, which gave us really big experience for the future and for our build as well.
can you tell us a little bit what's poking up at the top of your house there?
Yeah, it's a chimney. It's a chimney from our log burner.
Okay. And
Yeah.
is it a decent sized log burner? A shame we don't have any photos
Um,
inside, but
I
maybe.
think it's 4.5 kilowatts.
Okay.
So
That's
it's a
big.
little bit bigger than the tiny square ones.
Yeah.
We've got like a barrel shape one. So
Okay.
this was actually new, but also the cheapest possible on the market, and it's working well, and it's really good quality actually, this one. And it was something about £300 again
Wow.
with all
So
those.
in all
Yeah.
of this experience that you've mentioned here, and I think the maybe the building, working with your husband, working with your son, working together, homeschooling, how has that grown you as a family and grown you as a Christian, as an Adventist? I mean, has it been stressful? Has it been like, oh, I don't know why I took this on. Maybe we should go back to what we used to have, or has it propelled you further?
Mm, so I would say since we all converted, um, our journey speed up, if that makes sense.
And
So
Christianity's grown.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But also it navigate us in the right direction. So loads of things which were in our heads and hearts as a question were already answered, and there were no doubts to do things. So when we convert ourselves after a couple of months, we moved to the eco village,
Okay.
and like I said, we are the only Christians there.
Mm.
So you can imagine, as a fresh converted person, how difficult it might be. And I was asking, okay, why I'm here, what I'm doing here, what's my mission here? So we had everything at once. So we had to build a house, we had to um keep going with our spiritual development.
Yeah.
Also, as a fresh converted person, I don't know what is your experience, but I was like, how I'm going to tell everybody now? I have to save everyone.
Yeah.
So I had that phase as well that I have to do something,
Yeah.
which calmed down with a time, and I took it more without pressing anyone,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And also, we found beautiful congregations. So we have to travel a little bit, but it's worth. So we found our church as well, and it's another testimony I could give for another hour how we end up there. But the people from that congregation are amazing, and we found because of that we found our home education group, which we've got. So everything actually started to set up really nicely, and I think it might be itself testimony, because when we trust God,
Yeah.
uh, and we did what He asked for, we
Yeah.
really we really see His work in our life. So we were very stressed in the beginning. We didn't know how long we're gonna spend there, what is gonna be the work situation, because we didn't have any work and any idea where to start. So everything was like we left everything we knew. We left jobs, we left friends, we left everyone,
You
and
gave
we
up
moved to
jobs.
Eco Village, and we knew only two people from them.
Okay. So you said you left jobs and you left friends and things like
Yeah,
that.
everything. We just left everything. We towed our house, and we started a new life in a place which we didn't know. I mean, we've been there a couple of times, but just for a weekend or
Yeah.
for a couple of days, and but we didn't know anything about our future job, anything, literally anything. We were just praying and trusting that it's gonna be fine. People are doing that kind of crazy stuff, so we will be fine.
Well,
And
a
we
lot of
actually
Christians
were
are doing
fine.
that crazy stuff, aren't they? It's all over YouTube now. People are getting up, moving to other countries, abandoning their lifestyle, and saying this
Yeah,
is it. The world is waking up. And let me
yeah,
ask you this question. You got a nice family. You've wasn't so much of a Christian before. Different circumstances happened. You made the decision to change your life around,
yeah.
moving to something like this. Yeah, we know the spiritual aspect that God has blessed you. How has Satan caused any rifts or troubles or trials that you've had? Because I'm sure this wasn't always smooth journeying. And then what did you do to help you overcome? What buffeting have you had basically, if you want to share any of that?
Um, so well, yeah, it's not like fairy tale. Like yeah, like you spot. Because yeah, well, actually, his work, I mean, Satan's work, started uh, back when still been living in Poland.
Yeah.
So we had a couple of traumas there, and also some very very big mistakes in terms of decisions and our company and everything. So literally moving to the UK, we were having nothing, literally from zero level,
Okay.
and it was very very difficult time. But I would say God was working on me particularly just before I went pregnant. So my son was born still in Poland, and we moved when he was 5 months old. And just before I get pregnant, I revalue my life a lot,
Yeah.
and I realize we are not alone here in this world.
Mm.
Something has to help me because it is not possible I survived what I've been through.
Yeah.
Um, so it had to be some divine power, which was always pulling me out from the bottom
Yeah.
of the sea.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand that time. So when we moved to, I'm skipping now, and we are already converted.
Yeah.
I had one very very difficult situation which is supposed to end now within maybe a year, maybe year and a half,
Mm.
and just at the end, after almost 10 years of hard work, suffering, enormous stress,
Yeah.
when we were already in country living and trying to focus on, okay, now it's going to be okay, now it's going to be fine. This case just collapsed, and I had to start it all over again. I'm not go. I don't want to go in too deep in the details, but
Yeah.
generally speaking, it cost me a lot of thinking, a lot of stress, a lot of time, a lot of probably future money, and everything. So, but still,
But it shaped you very
without
well to be
yeah,
honest.
without God in my life now,
Yeah.
and I to knowing why everything is happening and how the world is working, that having that truth
Yeah.
allows me to be obedient
Mm.
and just trust God and to have that base which I'm standing on,
Yeah.
and He holds me because without Him I would probably would be so depressed or gave up my life or anything like that. It's a huge thing happened, and without that support I've got
Yeah.
also from my family and from my congregation, like for example, now we are in our one sister house because we wouldn't make it to our home. So she, yeah, come in. So it's like, without that support,
Mm.
I would probably drown
Yeah.
already. So it is always something,
Yeah.
some people, but I'm very grateful we're still healthy, we're still in
Mm.
fitness and in our strength to do stuff.
Yeah.
And some other door were open lately, um, and it's yeah, it's opening the door as well. So I have to kind of deal with my previous life, let's say, my previous choices, my previous things, and Satan doesn't help when it's opportunity to broke it again. He does that, but I know I've got my support, who is much more powerful than he is. So I just try to carry on, and yeah, this kind of living even helps us and strengthens us because even if we're gonna lose anything, it's not gonna be so much as we had before, if you
Mm.
know what I mean.
Yeah, I understand. Well, tell us a little bit about this photo here then, because yeah, from what I'm hearing, the devil's tried, he's failed, praise the Lord. So
Yeah,
he's failed and he will always fail because as you said, when you always put God first, Yeah, we'll have the challenges, we'll have the trials, but God is always able to pull us through, and He's pulled you
Yeah,
through. Here's a different testimony.
yeah,
So we've got two windows here. We've got looks like a front room window, and then maybe is that a kitchen window? Am I correct in
yeah. The
thinking that?
brown one is a kitchen window, but it's stacked with other things.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention. So we are not using our kitchen yet.
Okay.
So we bought a touring caravan which was empty inside, and we just installed our gas cooker there,
Mm.
and we've got the kitchen separately because we didn't want to steam cooking and put the moist in the house before it's ready, and yeah,
Yeah.
just to not destroy it from the inside as well.
Yeah.
um but this is what we see. It's a south facing side,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be one, two, at least two windows more, or even maybe three, as I
Okay.
remember our project. So on the other side of this brown long window is gonna be another window, and on the top where the bedroom is, it's gonna be very long opening window.
Cool.
And maybe on the corner it's going to be above the big white one, it's going to be just the glass.
Okay. So
um
let me ask you this question because I know the feeling of freedom and
yeah.
being out in the country and not having the burdens that we take from the city into the country. But it just the word free just keeps echoing in my mind when I'm talking to you. I'm
Hmm.
just you know yeah, you've got free material or you've had to salvage some material, but you didn't have to spend that much money, and you've spent maybe around 6,000, 7,000, let's say £10,000, but
Hmm.
£10,000 for freedom to wake up in the morning and go to work when you're ready to go to work, to eat from the produce of the land. And yes, I understand what you said about the people that you're renting from or you're being hosted by. They're not Christians, but what a testimony that you're with people who are like-minded. And who knows,
Mm.
by your whole experience, they could be coming to you and saying, "Tell us about what's happening outside." Has any of those opportunities come because they're seeing the type of people you are, and I'm sure
Mm.
questions have been asked. Who are you really? Who are you really? What are you doing here? Why are you doing this?
Yeah. Yeah, so we already had some opportunities to talk with people, even though some of them are very, very deep in their other beliefs,
Yeah,
which we know it's well, it's not true.
yeah,
They're curious, because to be a Christian in these days and be proud of it, it's something unique. People usually are like, I would pack the rest of the Christian as people who are just doing something without really knowing why,
why
or
they do
from
it.
because the parents were in a church, or is it a tradition, or they like Christmas, or they like whatever.
Mm.
And being different Christian is interesting for people.
Yeah,
And to be honest, sometimes they treat us, some of people, not well, most of them are not, they treat us really well, with really huge respect.
yeah,
But sometimes we experience from some people like, oh, you poor thing, you don't know anything, or like, oh, I believe the Christianity is for less intelligent people, or some kind of opinion like this.
yeah, yeah,
But actually, when you became really, truly believer, you understand that you have to follow Jesus' character, and you have to be patient, and you have to understand that people can be wrong, can have different opinions,
yeah,
and we try to not judge them, don't be angry on. Sometimes we come home and, oh, he said or she said that and that, and it was unfair. But this is like, okay, we need to work it out. We shouldn't be feeling this way.
yeah,
We're still proud of it, and we no one is actually, it's not possible, in my opinion, to break that,
yeah,
because we like you said, because how we live and what we do, we are just putting a light,
yeah,
and we kind of testimony of what the real Christianity can be. and we, of course, we're just human, and we are sinners, as you know. It's not like easy that now we are saints and we are just pure and white as a snow. We still, it's our daily work on our characters to be uh, able to change more and more and more. And I think if you ask me, are you ready for Jesus to come? I'm not. I still have to do a lot of work, and I'm trying to be on time because we know time is short. But yeah, I feel when you get that, when you understand why you are Christian,
Yeah.
it's just
Makes sense.
like
Makes
yeah,
loads of sense.
yeah, everything is like, okay, you can say about me that, you can say about me that. And I had actually that situation. Yeah, one lady told me about how terrible I am, for example. And I just stood there, and like, someone slapped me once. I just stood there and show her another side of my face.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it worked miracle, because I just prayed in my mind, okay, Lord, please give me the wisdom and please give me the word, what I supposed to say. And I wanted to say something from myself, but
Mm.
actually I had the thought, okay, this is from you. And I said one just sentence, and she changed completely. She calmed down and she came back to herself. Um, and that was it.
So tell us how long, let's just put this last one up. How long did it take to build this? Obviously you haven't finished, but you're living in there now?
Yeah, yeah, we're living in there over a year now.
Okay.
So we started as like I said, from the level without a roof, so it was lower, and it was covered by tarpaulin for about, I think, 3 or 4 months, something like that. And then we built the roof. So it's basically what we need to do still is to fit some windows and the metal sheets as outside walls. That's the major things we have to do. But in terms of building, if I would say, well, depends, because we were working. Andy was working full time, and we were building only on Sundays, or sometimes he was taking day off. So it was very difficult to. It's
Yeah.
difficult to judge how actually it took.
Yeah.
But you are able, I think, if you have opportunity to build, I would say 3 months, two people can build something like this if you've got materials. Like I said, when we started to build, we didn't have any windows, so we had to build the structure, and I had to find the windows very quickly, because you have to actually plan where to place the windows first before the construction will stand up. So we did floor, and we did some, basic things. And then when we had the windows, we started to plan where to put the windows and build the walls. Yeah, and then outside, I think outside, yeah, plywood, and on the top of the plywood, you put the membrane,
Yeah.
because you can cut both of those when the windows are coming. Yeah. So when we were transporting it, it had only the door and the window you can see on the screen now. The only two things were fitted by the time. The rest was just in like the framing. So we had to cut it down and fit the windows when we arrived.
So tell us a bit
Um,
about this photo then. What winter was this, and what was
yeah.
it like
So
this experience?
yeah. So it was actually without any warnings. One morning in November, we just woke up. I opened the door and it was full of snow. But actually, maybe 3 weeks before, we fit the wood burner, so we would be in very big trouble if we wouldn't have heating at that time. So it was just 3 days, I think, of snow in Wales in November last year, um, and then it melted down
Was you
and
warm
it started
inside?
to rain. What was that?
Was you warm inside when
Yeah,
this?
yeah, yeah. Because we used wood to build, and sheep wool as an insulation is really, really good. I can highly recommend. It's maybe not the lightest insulation, it's pretty heavy,
Yeah.
but we decided to have a proper insulation to have um, dry and warm
Okay.
environment. Yeah.
Man, wow.
And
Um,
it's working really well. And it's very cheap because you can buy literally sheared wool from
mm,
the farmers for really
yeah.
low money.
You in
Yeah.
Wales as well. So, in close, as we coming down to an end, what final kind of thoughts, ideas, or anything that you want to kind of share with your experience, and maybe for those people who haven't really taken such a journey like this? I think this is a very unique journey because it's not someone selling a house or buying another house in mortgage
Yeah.
or whatever it is. This is someone coming from a conventional lifestyle, really
Hmm.
downsizing and just
Yeah.
having something, which I think we'll probably all be in something like this one day. I've always wanted this. If someone offered me a house, I would want to go for something like that because I just like the fact of you can move it if you want to, or it's just unique and small. It's cubby hole and that, and that kind of stuff. But that's just me. But yeah, what kind of thoughts or sharing would you want to leave with us today?
Yeah, I think many people might, especially in the UK, the question might be, oh, with a law, how it's possible to have that in the land? Because as you probably know, UK law is not very easy to
Yeah,
buy a land and build everything you want.
yeah,
So this kind of solution actually was also planned in terms of moving to the land in the future as a seasonal worker. So this house is built in caravan rule. So caravan rule means you can have a movable building which is 3 meters and 5 centimeters high from the floor to the ceiling, but it can be very big, 20 meters long and almost 7, I think, wide. So if you build the building in this rule, you are able in the future to move to your own land as a seasonal worker, and it's legal. It's a normal way which people use very often.
okay,
But what I want to say to encourage people, when we moved to the UK, we had no money at all. And when we were moving to the farm, we had no money at all. And it was very big risk as well because I didn't have a job. My husband had kind of a transfer, but it wasn't ideal solution.
yeah,
Um, and we didn't know anybody again. Um, and we end up in a farm, which I come from a family, we were gardening all our lives. So for me, like preserving food, fermenting, baking sourdough, and that kind of stuff is just cultural thing which I grew up with.
yeah,
Um, but we didn't know about animals at all, and we had to actually help farmers with horses, with sheep. We were lambing with them. We were just learning as it was. So it wasn't any preparation. And I would say if you want to prepare yourself, you will never be ready.
yeah,
You just have to do it and experience it because you will never know if you like it or not if you not try. So it might be sometimes overwhelming, but I would say just do it. Just do it if you've got the possibility to do, even if you think you don't, because we didn't have money at all, and God was opening a door, small here, small window there, small here, and we didn't earn money, like huge money to build like huge home or buy a huge land. Everything is going like step by step, and
mm,
we decided just to save as much as possible. And to be honest, if you are not buying cosmetics too much, because we downsize even that, we grow food. We don't use conventional stuff. We don't. What else? We don't buy clothes. We don't buy anything which is not necessary. We really, really focus and we discuss what we can purchase, what we cannot. Um, and by that savings, you are able these days, or for example, if you live closer to England,
Yeah.
uh, I have experience. I was walking in Maidstone and I found an almost brand new dishwasher because people were buying them and they said, well, because I met actually the guy and I was like, this is actually for free. And he was like, yeah, you can take it because it's too small for us. So we decided to buy a new one. And I was like, okay, so free dishwasher. And you can find everything on the street, literally in the big cities. If you don't live on a big city, you can just travel
Yeah.
or you can go to marketplace like we do now, and everything is there, but you have to spend some time and search and really make a list, and you will be amazed how much money goes for food when you go outside for eat, or if you're going to buy some drink outside. If you start to do your herbal tea and put it in a flask and take it with you, you've got a hot drink with you, but you don't spend money. So literally every cuts we've made, we put it in our future. And to be honest, it's possible to achieve huge things this way.
And yeah,
Yeah,
we wanna open it up a little bit to the viewers as well. If they have any questions, we've got about 10 minutes left. So if they've got any questions, if you can
yeah.
answer them briefly also. I don't know if we've got any questions at all. Anyone's got any suggestions or anything? Have a look quickly there. Can't see anything coming through, so I think maybe you've answered most of them. Don't think we've got any. Do we have any, Gabrielle or Dale? Do we have any insights at all?
Can I can I ask a question?
Yeah, go
Yes.
ahead.
Um, I was interested in the course because I think a lot of us are so fearful of probably making such huge changes in our lives that as much, I suppose, info or know-how or gathering of skills that we can,
Hmm.
as much as possible. So, the idea of the eco course is that in your research. So, for instance, did you have to go to Wales for that, or did you come upon other courses in the UK?
No, I had to go to Wales because it was actually essential to see the homesteads, different homesteads. So we stayed most of the time in one homestead, but we had many tours and like working days during that course in other homesteads. So we could see different solutions for water systems, for electricity, for building, for heating. So some of them were, for example, building a strawberry houses, and we were learning what is advantage of this one comparing to the wood house, for example.
Mm, mm, mm,
You know, we were seeing different types of composting toilets, for example. So we live in a homestead which the composting toilet is normally tiled and it's clean and doesn't smell because it
mm,
has like special, let's say, chimney, which is taking all the smells outside. And also in that chimney they've got big spiders, so they put it all over the places, the cabinets. And if any fly will go to the compost loo, it has to go through the chimney out, and it will always end up in a cabinet. So it's literally really simple things, but such a detailed and very intelligent. And the same with the water. The homes that we live in, they've got this water system only based on gravity, so they don't need any pump because the water comes from the stream from the top, and they've got normal pressure in the taps, and everything is working very well, but it's just gravity. how cool is that? I didn't know that before the course. So I
Right,
thought we
right.
have to pump the water, we have to have everything like electricity, this and that. And
Mm,
actually, you can use many, many sources of energy like solar system, hydroelectric, wind, biomass. So one homestead was based on, or maybe it wasn't during the course, I think it was the other one. But anyway, when I was learning, I found also the solution based on cutted grass and like weed clipping. So they were collecting cutted grass as a compost heap, but inside of it was a tank with water. And because composting grass and waste is generating very big heat, like 70 degrees, 80 degrees sometimes, they had a hot shower because of the composting biomass.
mm,
So all those solutions were like, I was speechless because I came from a farm which was pretty conventional. That we had a normal toilet, flushing toilet, normal water, everything was there, electricity
mm,
and that kind of stuff. And we thought we live in country living and we are so, away from the
mm,
city. But actually to see how people deal with um, the basic stuff like electricity, like water, like everything. Most of
mm,
them have got outside showers, which we think, oh, it's gonna be cold, I'm gonna freeze. That's not true because when you are under the shower, it's fine. You just need to prepare yourself to dry and dress up quickly. And then you
mm,
have to walk to your house and you are warm by that time. So I think it changes perspective when you see the solutions already implemented in life. So
mm,
I would say it was life-changing experience, even though um, we thought we knew a lot. But when we went to the course, we realized we have to learn a lot
mm,
because we didn't know
mm,
much comparing to that people.
mm. And could I ask, is the course costly?
So I think 3 years ago, I think we made it 3 years ago, or maybe four now.
Mm, mm.
3 years ago, I think we made it, and it cost us £500 for 5 days, including food and accommodation.
Okay,
So
okay,
it
okay.
wasn't too bad.
Hmm.
Now maybe it's slightly more expensive. I
More,
don't know
yeah, yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
but
I can
yeah.
imagine. Hmm.
Yeah, so
And,
they've got a camp field, so we were camping, so we didn't have to pay for any, accommodation.
okay, okay. And you never came across any other course other than the one in Wales. There was nothing in England itself that you came
Well,
across.
well, to be honest, I was looking for Wales because
You
we
was looking,
wanted
you were just
to,
looking for
yeah,
Wales.
because we wanted to move um,
Okay, okay,
that
all right,
way.
okay, okay.
And also, I think this was the closest one. I believe
Mm-hmm.
they've got similar stuff probably happening in
Mm,
Scotland, maybe. But
mm,
I never found anything like that in England because
okay.
maybe England I don't think there might be even eco village like this in England because
Mm,
of the law.
okay, okay. All right, thank you.
Thank
You're
you. Thank
welcome.
you.
Mhm.
All right, well, we've got about 4 minutes left, so I think we'll bring it down. Oh, sorry, yep, sorry.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Um, Thank you, Sister Ania, for your testimony. It inspired me again. I really appreciate it. Mine is like a really silly question there. The sheep wool. Obviously you said you insulated with that and you got that from the farms and stuff. Did it
Yeah.
smell? You have to wash it because obviously I'm assuming that once it's heated, it's gonna smell like a sheep. I don't know. It's a really silly question,
No,
but I
it's
just
not
thought I'd ask.
actually. It's not silly question. So we thought the same. So our first insulation we bought as a washed one, prepared one, and we paid some money for that. But actually, we've learned as we were building in a in one of our projects for our hosts, which we live on their land now, and they were just putting literally sheep wool with all, let's say, waste as well. They didn't care if it's a poo on it or it's a mud on it or it's some grass on it, because actually you close the wool such a in tight way, so there is no way it will have any impact, and it doesn't smell or anything like that because you can plaster it after all. And so now, if we would build another part of our house, because we've got some left to insulate, and we've got sheep wool, I'm not going to wash it. I'm just going to put it in the wall and close the wall with a plywood, and that will be it. I mean, you can wash it. You can wash it. It's easy, but the best wool for insulation actually is unwashed, because you've got the lanolin on the sheep wool. If you will wash it, you're gonna lose it, and it's not gonna be that sturdy in terms of antimicrobial and moisture absorbing. If anything will happen to the wall, the wool will absorb as much moist as possible when it's not washed actually. So maybe it sounds disgusting, but actually, when we used to live in a farm and we've seen that sheep, it's not very clean animal when it's in a farm. When it's going freely in the hills, it's more clean animal. But in the farms, they are not clean animals at all. We were having some doubts, but actually, we now use that building as a kitchen in that eco village, which we built and insulate fully with unwashed sheep wool, and you would never say it's something smelly or something wrong with it. It's just contained in between two plywoods and then plastered and then painted, so you cannot really even feel it or anything.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shade.
Thank you. All right, so our time has come and it's expired now, so I will close with a word of prayer, and I will hand you over to Gabrielle to maybe finish off any other preliminaries. But let's pray. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, Lord, we're grateful for the opportunity to hear another testimony from coming from city to country. We thanking you for Ania's story, her husband and her son, how they've journeyed, sacrificed, changed their lives, Lord, to glorify you and also to share their testimony. We ask that you may continue to bless them, finance them, and help them to travel, sharing their understanding of what they've experienced, Lord. Please continue to keep all evil and trouble at bay, and continue to help them in their journey, Lord, to simply and exemplify your glory. Be with them now, we ask in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Thomas, and thank you so much, Ania. That was really a blessing, and we look
Thank you
forward to
very much.
seeing, and we look forward to hearing more from you in the future. So thank you once again.
Thank you very much for invitation and opportunity
No
to share.
problem.
I hope it's gonna be useful for anyone.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
it
you
was.
so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you, everybody who joined our meeting today. It was really nice to have you all and to hear the questions. And God bless you all.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you again for watching the Journey Planner SDA. Remember to subscribe, like, and share the links to our YouTube and Facebook broadcasts. See you at the next episode.